What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So I've been reviewing the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip series since the Flip 3, and each time its successor comes out, I kind of put it side by side to its predecessor. And I'm going to be doing the same thing here, putting the two together and answering the question at the end of the video, is it worth upgrade from the Flip 5 to the Flip 6? And I want to start things off with design. So when you look at it just head on, they definitely are very similar, but there are some changes that make the Z Flip 6 a little bit better. So it has sides that are completely flat, and this is very reminiscent of the Galaxy S24 series, whereas if you look at the Z Flip 5, it's not as flat. So this definitely does come down to like preference of which one you would prefer. I personally do like how the Z Flip 6 looks. Not only that, the camera ring is now color coded on the Flip 6, which does include a 50 megapixel camera, and I will be getting to that later. But it's pretty much flagship camera quality. Like it borrows the same one from the S24. So I got the silver right here. It has a silver camera ring, whereas the Z Flip 6 does not include that. But I also do love this exclusive Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5 online color from last year. It's actually really nice. They both completely close, which was a new thing for the Z Flip 5 when compared to its predecessor, the Flip 4. And the Flip 6 has the same thing. It completely closes flat. Now, when we do, before we open it up, we have the same cover right here. And they do the same things, really, essentially. I mean, if you want to go on full out and play Clash of Clans or Call of Duty mobile on your cover screen, then go right ahead, be my guest. But I don't know who's going to be doing that. I probably won't. So there is that too. And they are both AMOLED displays. Now, when we do open them up, they both have a 6.7 inch AMOLED display, 120 hertz panel, and they're really good. They're both really good panels, but there are some differences here. And starting things off with the peak brightness. So Z Flip 6 goes to peak brightness of 2,600 nits, whereas the Flip 5, I was going to say Zip 5. Flip 5 goes to peak brightness of 1,750 nits. And in day-to-day use and outdoors especially, they both get really bright, but you can see the difference with the Flip 6, which is a welcoming change. Now, Z Flip 6, here's the thing, it has significant less of a crease than the Flip 5, and it's very noticeable. And I've gotten some comments like, why do you even talk about the crease? It's foldables, they're bound to have creases. Yes, but there is a certain amount of crease. I mean, if you remember when the first foldables were coming out, they had creases that were like really, like you would run your finger across and it was like a really heavy indent. Whereas here, and you really have to try it, you run your finger through both screens and there's a massive improvement with the Flip 6 over the Flip 5, and you can definitely feel that. So I would, if you have the Flip 5, check out your local Best Buy or your local carrier store to try it out, but you're going to notice a huge difference. It's still there, but it's heavily reduced, and I can say that. And also, when it is folded, the Z Flip 6 is 14.9 millimeters, and when the Flip 5 is folded, it's 15.1, so it's just ever so slightly thinner when folded. But overall, everything else about the design is the same. They have the fingerprint sensor built inside the power button. The volume buttons are on the right-hand side. And that's really it. You get the SIM card ejector tool right here, or the tray on the left. You get speakers and USB-C port, but I just love the change in layout of, or how the speaker cutout here is on the Flip 6. It just looks more cleaner and more elegant. But everything with the design is pretty much almost the same. You're not getting like a huge design overhaul. You're just getting some improvements that help with that design. Let's move on to the performance, and here is where things get a little bit different. So starting things off with the fact that the Z Flip 5 doesn't have a vapor chamber, but the Flip 6 does. And it's inside of this top portion right here. And in fact, it's actually larger than the one found in the Galaxy S23 Ultra, and that is saying a lot. Now, Z Flip 6 has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 with 12 gigs of RAM versus the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 on the Flip 5 and 8 gigs of RAM. And I'm pretty sure, I'm suspecting the reason why there's more RAM on the Z Flip 5 is obviously, one, it makes it more like a flagship with more RAM, but also because of probably Galaxy AI and the features and how much, power it's going to need. So obviously having more RAM is going to help with that. Both of these devices are currently running Android 14, and the Flip 6 will get 7 years of software updates, while Flip 5 will get 4 years of software updates. It's great to see 7 years of software updates, but the thing is, how long will they actually last in 7 years? Oops, that was my notes dropping in the background. But how long will they actually last in 7 years? Who knows? Maybe we'll come back to a Z Flip 6 video in 7 years. We'll see. But both devices, day-to-day use, they perform like a champ. And even though the Z Flip 5 is a year old, it still runs super smooth, no issues whatsoever. Again, Flip 6 also runs super smooth, no issues whatsoever. I think they both get a pass on the performance. If you want to go into numbers, yes, 8 Gen 3 performs much better, but day-to-day use, you're not really going to notice a huge, substantial difference. But where you are going to probably notice is the camera. So with the Flip 6, you're getting a 50 megapixel main camera f1.8 with a 12 megapixel ultra wide rear, as well as a 10 megapixel front on the Flip 6, which is also borrowed from the Galaxy S24. With the Flip 5, you are getting a 12 megapixel main instead of the new 50, and you're getting a 12 megapixel ultra wide, as well as a 10 megapixel front facing camera on the Flip 5. And yes, in day-to-day performance, I do think the Flip 6 does perform much better. But here's the thing, they're both great for daylight photos. They both do the job, but Flip 6 just has an updated physical camera hardware, as the Flip 5 is just running a little bit behind. And here's what I can say. I think the Z Flip 6 is now like almost up there with flagship camera. And if you remember, with my Galaxy S24, I said that device is like 85% of the S24 Ultra. I truly see the Z Flip 6 as a foldable Galaxy S24. Like, it's bringing a lot of things that the S24 has into a foldable form factor. So I truly think this is still 85% of what you're getting with like a Galaxy S24 Ultra. So obviously you're going to see the improvements with the camera, and you're also going to see improvements in the battery department. Flip 6 physically has a larger battery, 4,000 milliamp hours, same as the Galaxy S24, versus the Z Flip 5, 3,700 milliamp hour battery. Now, they both have 25 watt wire charging, they both have 15 watt wireless charging, and they both have 4.5 watt reverse wireless charging. But here's the thing, Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 on the Flip 5 is going to help with better battery efficiency, and it has been performing much better. Like, it'll get me through a day much better than the Z Flip 5, and it's Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. And not only that, it has a vapor chamber, so it's going to help with cooling, and that also may equate to better battery life. But if you're finally looking, if you were on the fence last year or years prior of getting a Flip but not happy with the battery life about it, I think you're going to be pretty happy with the Z Flip 6's battery life. So it definitely wins in the battery department. But when we talk about price, here's the thing, they're not the same price anymore. Samsung finally, after a couple years, increased the price to $1099 on the Flip 6. So an extra $100. Flip 5 started at $999. But I think for the upgrades, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think at some point they could have kind of kept it at the same price. I don't know exactly why they increased it by $100, but it's not that bad. Of course, I'd like the price to be a little bit more, like $999, kept it at the same, but I guess this is how it's going to be looking like for a little bit of time. But that's going to end up with my final thoughts and answering the question, should you upgrade from the Flip 5 to the Flip 6? And honestly, no. If you have the Flip 5, there is absolutely no need to upgrade. I mean, yes, you're getting better performance, but day to day, it's not going to be a huge difference. It's not a reason to upgrade. And you're getting a new 50 megapixel camera, which does end up in better photo results. But again, I don't think that's a huge reason to upgrade. You're getting less of a crease. That's not a huge reason to upgrade, and you're getting better battery life, which may be a reason to upgrade for some, but for many, I still think it's, and for the extra $100, I don't think it's that worthy of upgrading. However, if you have something like the Flip 4 or older, or if you're finally looking into getting a flip like in this form factor, I would definitely say this is the time. Samsung really refined the Flip 6. They did a great job. I absolutely love the Galaxy Z Flip 6, and I can recommend this to more people now because of the improvements that they made. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, definitely be sure to superman the like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel a lot. It will help push my content out to more people. And also, if you want to check out my latest wallpaper pack, it's called Urban Glow. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below. This is also one of my older wallpaper packs. You can also find that in the link in the description down below. But I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.